Who are you people? I need to know who you are. Who are you?
I knew someone was watching. It's you. Who are you? What do you want?
You poisoned my mother and left her to die in the hospital. You go to church? You pray, you fellowship? I don't understand. Who are you?
Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Hypatia Olushi, and on this channel I talk about faith, lifestyle and gospel movie review. If you're new to this channel, thanks for stopping by, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back. In this video, I'll be reviewing the movie titled Back to Eden Part 2. Back to Eden was written by Gloria Magbamiloye and directed by Joshua Magbamiloye. You can find it on Damila Magbamiloye's YouTube channel. In the first part of Back to Eden, we saw how Madame Duro led her daughter astray and almost made her daughter lose her marriage, how that many other persons who joined Madame Duro's company almost ended up losing their marriage, they got distracted and had issues in their marriage. Shout out to the producers and the entire cast and crew of the movie Back to Eden. The actors did an excellent job bringing the characters to life, from the person who acted George to the person who acted Moji's character to the person who acted Debbie's character. I liked how the storyline in the second part of Back to Eden went, showing the place of prayer and the power thereof, showing the place of discipleship and submission to an authority, showing the place of guidance, showing the place of fellowship with other believers, and the blessings that are attached to belonging to a community of believers who are there to stand by you and support you in life's journey, as we saw in the case of Elizabeth. There are several things that stood out for me in the movie Back to Eden Part 2. One of them was captured in the scene at the beginning of the movie where Madame Duro went to visit the pastor and they were having a conversation. I think it was a counseling session, and the pastor was asking her questions to understand how she had been faring in the faith in business after living her old life. So Madame Duro was in the world and then she saw the light and she became a Christian and had to abandon her old ways. So that included leaving her former place of work because of the occultic origin of her former workplace. So while she was having the conversation with the pastor, she shared her challenges and that of the business, and in the process of encouraging her, the pastor made a statement that stood out for me. He said to her, "I know the devil won't back off easily because of why God sent you." And Madame Duro was confused. She was like, "Oh, I've done terrible things and it's by the mercy of God that I was saved." And he was like, "Yes, that's true. But God still has an assignment for you in the marketplace. And because the devil is aware that you are an asset to God, he's trying his best to do things that are going to discourage you and make you question your trust in God." And that stood out for me because many times we're faced with different challenges in life and we wonder why. Most times when we are faced with life's challenges, when things don't go as planned or in the order we expect them to go through, instead of falling into discouragement, instead of giving up and letting go of the assignment that God has given to you, I want you to know that the assignment is always bigger than the challenge. And if you believe and trust in God, He's going to lead you through that season and you're going to come out victorious. So don't be discouraged. Hold on to God and He will see you through. Another thing that stood out for me in the movie was captured in the scene where Madame Duro was having a dream where she was having a conversation with her pastor. And in that dream, she saw that the pastor came visiting and they were having a conversation where she was telling the pastor that she had been praying because her containers were held at the customs place and it wasn't released and her business was beginning to suffer for it. She had been praying with her colleague at work and she felt discouraged. So she was expressing her discouragement to the pastor in words that countered the prayers or the results from the prayers that she was expecting. Afterwards, the pastor cut her short and told her congratulations because she just watered down all the prayer requests she had made. So instead of speaking negative words over that circumstance, over that situation, over that person, speak the word of God. He encouraged her to speak the word of God, reminding her that you only overcome the devil by the word of God.
Are you on God's side or the devil's? Because everything you've been saying so far supports what the enemy is doing.
No. I choose to be in God's army.
Then stop speaking against His word, Madame Duro. Remember those 12 spies who were sent to explore Canaan? 10 of them came back with bad reports. They were saying that they saw Anakims and they felt like grasshoppers before them. Logically speaking, physically speaking, that is true. But only Joshua and Caleb saw with the eyes of faith. They chose to be on God's side. And when you are on God's side, you only see and say what God says. That is when you receive the miracle, not when you repeat what the enemy is saying.
Tell me why Debbie didn't learn her lesson after the first part of the movie. You think that after what Debbie experienced in the first part of the movie, she would be a better person in part 2. But no, Madame Duro, Moji, and even Elizabeth were better people in the second part of the movie. Better in the sense that they were learning to trust in God and align their lives in accordance with his plans and purposes for them, learning to seek his face before making decisions. However, Debbie's case was different. So Debbie was consumed with desire to make more money, the desire to have a better life, which wasn't bad. It's not bad to desire a better life. It's not bad to want to make money. It's not bad to want to relocate out of the country. But her desires were corrupted because she was missing her primary assignment, which was her home. She was intentionally creating issues with her husband, even when there weren't any issues, talking down on him like she did in the first part of the movie, discouraging him and talking down on his profession because she wanted what she wanted. So Debbie went on in this second part of the movie, fighting every voice of counsel that tried to talk her into wisdom. Eventually, she relocated out of the country, was faced with disappointments, and had to return in shame. So while it isn't bad for a person to desire relocating out of the country where they are at, the issue of relocation, as well as every other issue in one's life, has to be considered prayerfully. And in a situation where the person in question is married, relocation has to be on agreement by both parties. Also, I liked the role the pastor played in discipling Moji, Mrs. Duro, and in helping Elizabeth recover from the trauma she faced in her former workplace. It was heartwarming to see the church, the pastor, Mrs. Duro, and everybody just gather around Elizabeth and help her in her recovery process. I liked how the movie ended with Mrs. Duro taking the word of God to Mrs. Smith and how everything came together and Debbie finally got to her senses, even though it was later, and returned to her husband. Okay guys, thanks for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. Also click on the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I upload a video. And give this video a thumbs up, and I look forward to reading your comments. If you have watched Back to Eden, what stood out for you in the movie? If you haven't watched the movie yet, what stood out for you in this review?